Hi everybody, thank you all for registering and joining today's webinar. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to come join us. Welcome to today's webinar, where we'll be covering this year's important key topic for Omnissa Horizon users as far as PC over IP end of life and transitioning to Blast Extreme or PC over IP Ultra. I'm Kevin Greenway and I'm your host as well as co-presenter today. And I'm extremely pleased to be joined by Christina De Nijk, who is Director of Product Management at Omnissa. Christina and I have worked together now for several years, and she personally has always been really extremely instrumental in the collaboration and partnership we have together with Omnissa, where a majority of our focus is around the Horizon Linux client. And obviously that is a key topic of today's webinar. And Christina, would you mind offering a quick hello and wave to the audience, please?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Christina De Nijk with Omnissa, which you haven't heard it said before. That's how you say it. We're obviously we're a spin out of the end user computing part of VMware. We've been around for a little over a year. So that includes Workspace ONE, Horizon, and some of the additional apps that go with that. Anyway, very nice to say hello to everybody, and thank you to Kevin. Tenzing has been a great partner, and we're looking forward to outlining some of your options as we transition off of PC over IP.
Awesome. Thanks, Christina. So before we jump in, as I'm sure you're familiar with webinars, there is some housekeeping that's really important and probably will prompt answers to questions that you might already have. So firstly, the session is being recorded and the recording will be posted to you following today's session. Number two is all attendees will be muted throughout the webinar, but there is opportunity to ask questions in the questions panel under the GoToWebinar control panel. So if you haven't seen that already, it normally sits on the right hand of your screen and you can normally expand and reduce it. And these will be reviewed and answered at the end of today's session by myself and Christina, and we'll do our best to answer those questions on the spot. A copy of the slide and accompanying information will be shared following today's webinar as well. And there will be some polls throughout. We have 4 in total, and we really appreciate your participation on these as it really helps gauge our audience, really, see where you're at in terms of things and what your interest level is and where your direction is with regards to the content that we're presenting today. There's an additional comment that we just want to add. There are a couple of demos throughout, and they may or may not be hampered in terms of their impact with the fact that we're playing the demos through the GoToWebinar software. And obviously the GoToWebinar has its own separate video encoding that may impair the look and feel to you. So we are going to be sending those demos out as separate video links that you can watch, obviously locally at your side. So again, not to ruin the impact as they come across in the webinar. So just a point there, and we will remind you when we get to those demos as key information. And final thing is thanks again, and hopefully everybody enjoys the content today, and let's get this underway. So you've already met myself and Christina, but let's just give you a bit more detail into our history and roles. So my role at Tenzing is CTO. This will be my 14th year at Tenzing, and my role is overseeing our technical teams, including our R&D and support teams. I'm responsible or jointly responsible for our go-to-market strategy, and I work really closely with all of our internal teams pretty much, and enjoy a great working relationship with many employees at Omnissa. And a significant person, as mentioned, is Christina. She's always been very helpful, and I don't want to bang the Christina drum too much, give you a big head, Christina, but well deserved. And I do want to just say though that this is our first time running a webinar together, and hopefully it won't be our last. And Christina, I'll turn to you for a quick introduction if you can.
Okay, I am a director of product management, and I like to say that I work on the end user part of end user computing. So the part that the end user is interacting with, so that's specifically the Horizon client, the Horizon agent, and all the technologies that are running in between them, printers, any sort of peripherals, the offloading, and we'll talk a little bit about how using the Horizon stack can really give you great performance. And then of course Blast, which is really the key for what we're going to talk about today. And I right back at you, Kevin. It's been really fun working on this web presentation together.
Awesome, thanks. And yeah, busy person. Lots of things under your remit. Yeah, so all good stuff and good fun. So with that, we're just going to stop sharing our webcams for now, and we can turn them on again at the end once we do the Q&A. So I'll stop sharing my webcam, and then we'll move forwards. So let's just cover a little bit about today's agenda. So firstly, we'll be covering a Tenzing and Omnissa introduction for those who are not familiar with one or both organizations. And then it's really important that we cover a recap as well as an update on the latest PC over IP end of life news. And what is PC over IP, even for those that might be unaware or again, just needing a recap. Christina is then going to cover all the good things relating to Blast Extreme, including comparisons between both protocols. And as mentioned, you'll get to see some working demos of that then in action. From there, we'll be then providing an overview of PC over IP Ultra, as well as Trusted Zero clients from HP Anywhere. And these can be used to broker connections to Omnissa Horizon, as we'll cover. And probably the most important, or one of the most important pieces to the agenda, is then where we've come up with a protocol decision tree, which caused some back and forth and headache with the design team, those that know that kind of thing. But we hopefully help here with a great protocol decision tree where we can offer you assistance in terms of how to choose the right protocol based on your needs and carry you forwards, and in conjunction with the available endpoint as well, based on that chosen protocol. And this will then be summarized and aided with the resources and a chance, as we said, for QA at the end. So a lot to pack in the hour. So let's go. So as mentioned, the first slide is the Tenzing and Omnissa joint partnership. And this is a partnership, as Christina said, that kind of dates back to the former VMware EUC division. And it is a long-standing partnership, and it dates back to circa 2009. So 17 years really of a healthy, strong and long relationship. And our focus at Tenzing has been on the support of Horizon VDI and published apps, working with Omnissa dating right back to the infancy of supporting early PC over IP connectivity adoption and the explosion that we saw around that time, around the early to mid 2010s. So with that, we offer a wide available array of clients in our ecosystem for supporting Horizon. And in the more recent years, we've also added support for products like Workspace ONE and Horizon Cloud. And our speciality at Tenzing is Linux, as well as Windows-based client operating systems. And we have a really strong and mature lineup of optimized Horizon clients available in various form factors. We support both Ethernet, wireless, and fiber connectivity, and all our units support multi-monitor with dual or quad display options. And we also offer additional options like power over Ethernet, smart card reader or integrated smart card reader support. And of course, we support unified communication platforms that all became very big around the 2020 era. We know what happened there with Microsoft Teams, WebEx and Zoom, and lots of other things in the mix as well. Most recently, we've been working together on our own integrated secure browser and Workspace ONE joint initiatives, together with actually a joint alliance in Improvata, who are specialists in SSO or single sign-on. So there's constant evolution with the partnership. And as part of the relationship, we also work closely together with Omnissa Ready and TAP, which is the Technology Alliance Partner Program. And this process requires us to certify our clients on that program to give you assurance that obviously the clients are certified to work together with Horizon. And this has led to a vast number of combined deployments significantly over the past 10 years, covering various verticals. There's lots of them, but I'll just call out a few. So we've got federal, local government, defense and military, healthcare, finance, education and retail. They make up the major spoke of verticals, but as mentioned, there are more. And I'll just touch on you for a moment, if I can, Christina, whilst I prepare the first poll, if there's anything that you can say towards the joint partnership.
That lineup is really a compelling lineup, and I especially one of the things that Tenzig really offers that that not all thin client partners do is the zero clients. And especially for this audience, if what you really love is zero clients, you don't have to give that up just because we are moving off of PCoIP IP. There are blast zero clients, and I think that's a really powerful offer.
Yeah, great point. Thanks, Christina. And that brings us nicely to the first poll. So I would really appreciate, again, everybody's attendance on this. I'm just going to bring it on screen now, and I can see who is participating in it. So again, it's really just to gauge our audience in terms of which of the solutions you're actively using. So we've got about 30, we're ramping up to about 50% of votes here, which is really good. 70% voted. Come on, can we get a few more? Up to 75%, which I think is good enough. So just going to close that poll, and we'll just share it on screen so we can see today who is part of our audience. So we've got 68% on Tenzig, 89% on Omnissa, 13% on HP Anywhere, and then 15% split between other VDI and other endpoints. So really good, nice mixture there, and thanks again for participating. It's like playing like a game show, isn't it? So let's touch on Tenzig single vendor strategy and how that differentiates us against our competitors, as Christina touched on. You touched on the zero client part, Christina, which luckily I don't have in here, and that's a great point. But I guess Tenzig is different in the fact that we're a single vendor offering not just hardware or software, but both. We offer our own hardware with a wide array of options, from regular desktop form factor to all-in-ones and laptops. The hardware is integrated together with either our own Linux platform, in the case of modernized thin or zero clients, in addition with Windows 11 IoT LTSE 2024. And all of these support Blast Extreme. And then in addition, our trusted zero clients, which we'll be introducing in the PCoIP Ultra section, can operate with Horizon with either Blast Extreme or PCoIP Ultra. And whilst our Linux OS is primarily integrated together with our own hardware, as we can see here, we also have a PC repurposing version called Repurpose, and this can be used to deploy easily onto either existing or net new third-party devices like desktops, laptops, and competitor thin clients. And what's great and really simple is that the software platform, whether we operate it on our own hardware or third party, in the case of Repurpose, operates singularly and unified, meaning it offers the same look and feel whether operating on our own or third party hardware. And to Christina's point, what we have done over feedback from our customer base over time is given that zero client look and feel, even if you are using PC repurposing. So again, regardless of hardware, everybody has the same look and feel when it comes to working with Horizon. And another great benefit is that each of these platforms is managed together through Tenzig Manager. And the other great catch here is that Tenzig Manager is included free of charge with all of those endpoints, whether it's, again, our own hardware or PC repurposing that runs on third-party hardware. Tenzig Manager, like I say, is free of charge. The only exception to that is the Trusted Zero clients, as we'll cover later, that do require an additional subscription for the Trust Center platform. So we'll cover that in more detail later. And the other final standout for Tenzig that's, again, differentiators is that VDI, DAS, and web apps is our sole focus. So this is really crucial in today's market that moves at ever fast pace, with being able to keep current and abreast of the continual evolvement that comes from our partners such as Omnissa. You saw and heard how busy Christina is with the product management. So we can really be well positioned to embrace all of those features as they come downstream. We then get to PCoIP end of life announcement, and the point where I hand to you, Christina, just to bring us up to date if you can on that, and we'll throw in poll number 2 as well around gauging the audience on PCoIP, please.
Yeah, great. So what are we doing here? What have we announced? We've announced that we are going to be we're going to be removing PCoIP from the Horizon product. This blog that's been up for a couple years, because we wanted to give our customers a lot of notice to come up with a strategy, is a little out of date. It says that after the ESB at the end of 2025 that we would be removing it, that we didn't have an ESB at the end of 2025. The ESB, the extended service branch release, will be coming in Q1. So shortly after that, we will begin removing PCoIP from our product. The ESBs are supported for 3 years. So even at that point, you have 3 full years of support on the extended service branch, and that includes, security updates and bug fixes that come out periodically. So lots of notice. But Kevin, let's go ahead and do the poll.
Yep, let me bring that into play. So hopefully everybody can see that on screen. Are you using legacy PCoIP still? So we got votes coming in already. We're up to 30%, ramping up. Again, a good even split, which I'll be putting on screen once all the votes come in. And there is still a good percentage with Terra 2.0 clients, which makes today's topic and content even more important and critical. So we're up to 77%. It looks like the votes, oh no, they're still coming in. So we're up to 80, but I think we got enough data there where I'll close and share that result on screen. So yeah, as we can see, there are still a good percentage of today's audience still using PCoIP. Yeah, a good percentage either with x86 clients, Terra 2, or other Zero clients. It looks like 26 have already made the move, and 14% are not sure. So really good data there. And I'll hand that and turn that back to you. Thanks, Christina.
Yeah, great. Oh, let me.
Looks like you've got controllers or movement. Yep.
Okay. All right. So when we talk about the PCoIP that's part of Horizon, what are we talking about? We're actually not talking about the PCoIP that HP Anywhere sells. This is a branch that we took about 10 years ago that we have been maintaining. It was our only protocol for a long time, but then again, around 10 years ago, we decided that we wanted to build our own protocol. We branched PCoIP, and it's been, we've been doing maintenance updates. We would occasionally add features, but it's really been in kind of a holding pattern while we really focused on Blast. So when we talk about the PCoIP Ultra, that's actually quite a different protocol at this point. It is matured in different ways from Blast. So what we're removing is a protocol that's basically a legacy protocol, and we are at the point with Blast where it is better in every way. And we're going to go through and I'm going to show you what that looks like. But there's really, it's really a service for our customers, both in terms of performance and in terms of cost effectiveness to move off of this older version of PCoIP. So when we talk about Blast, Horizon has thousands of customers and they have totally different needs from each other. So Blast really has to be able to serve the wide range of our customers, and it does. So that means everything from call centers that are offsite, just kind of basic office work that's happening in low bandwidth areas, and then all the way to high-end graphics. We actually do support lossless. We'll talk about PCoIP Ultra and how that's also a good option for graphics, but we have lots of graphics users using Blast. Everything, yeah, just a huge array of different kinds of end users and customers, and Blast has to be the right protocol for all of them. So what makes Blast better? We are feature rich. We actually support multiple codecs. We support, AV1. We've got H.264. We've got our own homegrown Blast codec, which is a great multi-purpose codec. We have the unified communication support, as Kevin mentioned. So that's Teams, Zoom, WebEx, and doing the offloads. You're not actually running that inside the VM, which really improves your density and prevents a lot of traffic into the data center for no good reason. We support advanced GPUs. We have intelligent network management where we can switch between TCP and UDP. Great host density, lower bandwidth, and I've got some charts for that, and telemetry, which we'll also talk about. So here we have the first demo. And I know that this webinar, maybe that video doesn't look great. It doesn't look great on me too. But if you look at this nice red box, it's showing the frames per second. And the original recording that we did is quite smooth and is staying there at the right around the 30 frames per second. So this network is started off at 1,000 kilobits per second, so around 1 megabit per second, which is kind of a low-end DSL, and we've just knocked it down in half. So it's so it's at 5,000 kilobits per second. I mean, let's knock it down even more to 3 kilobits per second. And if you're looking at the frame rate there in the red box, it actually doesn't change very much. So you have some options in terms of working with remote areas, giving Horizon even to end users that maybe are sharing a DSL and don't have the most amazing bandwidth. They can still have a really rich, usable desktop with Horizon. Whoops, let's move on to let's see. So now we're going to do latency. Let's see if this works. Okay, so what about something with latency? So again, we've got this nice red box that is showing the frames per second, which do stay pretty uniform throughout the exercise. And we've got a delay here of 50 milliseconds. But let's bump that up to, we're going to change it to 200 milliseconds, which is, we'll start with 100 milliseconds. And that is a noticeable, like that is a significant but not crippling delay. And the frames per second still maintain. They're still sitting there around 30, even though the video itself doesn't look so good in the webinar. And then you can actually even move the window around and the video will continue to play. All right, all right, so let's say I convinced you. The frames per second, even on compromised networks, is great. What does that mean in terms of resources in the back end? So we're using, so these three columns. First one is BLAST, using the BLAST codec, which, like I said, is our homegrown codec, which is kind of a general purpose codec. And then we've got H.264, using the built-in chips. And then the last set of bars is PCoIP. What the bright pink on the left bar is with the video graphics driver that was in the 2503, the SVGA graphics driver. And then we switched to the graphics driver that we had built ourselves, which we call IDD. And it is, you can see that going from the pink to the bar next to it, we've got a nice improvement in density. This is login VSI numbers. But you can also see that BLAST codec, especially after we switched to the IDD driver, has much higher density than the PCoIP bars, really showing that even when you move from PCoIP to BLAST, you're going to get, you're not going to need new hardware. You're actually probably going to get slightly better density than you had before. Same thing with RDSH. The last one was full VDI on vSphere. This is with RDSH if you're running remote apps again. So the BLAST codec on the left, higher density than the setup bars on the right for PCoIP. And again, this idea that going from 2503 to 2506, so one release to another, every release we do something to improve BLAST. So what about the bandwidth? Okay, so I convinced you that the graphics are going to be great. I convinced you that your host density is going to be okay. What about the load on wires for the network? That's going to improve too. So again, we're starting with the chart on the left. The BLAST codec is in purple. BLAST, the pink is also BLAST, but it's H.264, not the BLAST codec. And then PCoIP, just dramatically better to move to BLAST. And even at that, the frame rate is going to be a little bit better with a BLAST codec than PCoIP. It's just a better protocol. So based on all of this, we decided that not only does it make our lives easier not to support and test and maintain this older code, but really it's going to be better for our customers if we move from PCoIP to BLAST for everyone. And then the last thing is that we've actually invested a lot in our machine learning telemetry services, including BLAST. So this is data that we're collecting inside the agent and from the endpoint that is characterizing your network. It is, if you set up your edge gateway, it goes into our intelligence data lake that all of our customers can go and access if they set that up so that the data is going there. If you don't want the data to go there, you don't have to send it, but you can. And if you are willing to do that and you see the advantages, you get a single place where you can monitor your network. And you can see things, which users are doing great, which ones are in kind of a danger zone, and then which ones really are probably not having a great experience. It's all centralized, you can look at it, and then you can dig down into it. So if you see an area where you're worried about the performance, you can actually, in the intelligence surface, go in and you can see, for instance, if all of those users that are having a lot of dropped frames, a lot of latency, maybe they're all attached to a single Wi-Fi router. So you can identify that Wi-Fi router, you can go swap it out, or you can go open a ticket and warn somebody else they need to get rid of that Wi-Fi router. Or it's all coming from a specific area. Or maybe it all had an OS update that then leads you to be able to diagnose a problem. And you don't have to go and get the individual logs from those endpoints or from those VMs. You can get down to a root cause analysis in intelligence itself. All right, Kevin, back over to you.
Thanks, Christina. Yeah, and the telemetry data, you see the great value of that with how many users these days are in disparate locations and obviously hybrid working. So that telemetry is ever more important, isn't it, to measure that. So yeah, great content. So based on hearing that, all of the benefits that Christina touched on, it's time to start to see it in action on a Tenzing client. And this first slide allows us to see the components together, including the Tenzing Modernized Thin or Zero client. And this can be a Tenzing Modernized Thin or Zero client, or as I touched on before, it could be your own asset. It could be a PC, it could be a laptop, it could be a third-party thin client running Tenzing repurpose. And the platform, all of those platforms mentioned integrate the Omnissa Horizon Linux client, which support Blast Extreme as covered by Christina. Now, the difference is that the client is completely configurable using a HTML and XML-based GUI, and this is available both locally on the client as well as, more importantly, through the Tenzing Manager. So this is easily configurable to select between not just Blast Extreme, but also PC over IP. And why is PC over IP important here when we're talking about, obviously, end of life that and moving to Blast Extreme? And we still see today that there's many scenarios where customers come to us and they're still in the mode where they're using PC over IP, where they need to plan the migration. So this offers a very simple migration plan because it's very easy on the platform here to be able to switch between the two, as well as other parameters, as we'll see kind of emphasized through the demo. And from here, the Horizon client connects to the Horizon broker and gateway, where user authentication is performed, and then any desktops or applications that we connect to, like we saw in Christina's demo, are connected through the BlastXstream protocol. And as mentioned, all of this is then managed centrally through the Tenzig Manager. And the Tenzig clients connect to Tenzig Manager from any location using the Tenzig Secure Connector. So whether they're remote or local, everything is managed through the Secure Connector. And this is the component which enables device trust and management. Tenzig Managers, as mentioned, included completely free of charge with those endpoints that I've mentioned. So we get to the first demo on the Tenzig side, and what we're going to start with here is looking at configuring the Horizon settings centrally on a Tenzig device through Tenzig Manager. And we'll also look at how simple that is to make changes to an individual client. So the demo will be logging into Tenzig Manager v6 using my browser of choice, and we'll be authenticating locally, but we can also support authentication through Entra as well by effectively registering the Tenzig Manager server instance with our Entra tenant. So we sign into the Tenzig Manager web console, and that brings us in to the Tenzig Manager server. And I'll just pause the demo there just to quickly walk you through the UI. So on the left here are our client's view, where it's broken down into a search pane, so we can search for clients based on any of the criteria that we see here in the display. We can also see all of our endpoints in view with this view, and we can also see, as with Omnissa Webinar, groups of clients. And not in the demo here, we can also have a multi-tenant view here as well. So we could have different tenants where clients are segregated into different views there. And those views allow us to make configurations which are specific to those groups and to those tenants. On the right-hand side here are our clients that form either that view or group or tenant. And we can see from here clients that are connected, whether they're online or offline. Like in the demo case here, this is a client that's connected through Secure Connector versus the other clients that are all connected locally. And then the job log here keeps records and track of any effectively jobs or transactions that we make from the Tenzig Manager server to one or more clients. Now, if we take a look into one specific client that we're featuring the demo on, what we can do here is we can click on the client and we can go in and edit the configuration. And as well as being able to edit the configuration as a whole, you can see we have Omnissa specific settings that we can adjust very easily. So there's pretty common and obvious things in here. There's the server URL, which might make to our Horizon or Workspace ONE server. There's also the desktop name, so we can launch automatically to, in this case, a Windows 11 desktop. And there's that preferred protocol that I talked about. So by default, it's blank, but that's where we can specifically force the protocol based on the client's choice, as well as configure some of those commonly configured BlastXstream settings. Once we've made those settings, we can send those down to the client instantaneously. So you can see once we've sent that configuration, that is then captured in the job log, where you can see that has already succeeded because it's just very lightweight XML changes that impact that particular client. Now, one takeaway from the demo is that we only gave an example of making an individual client change. The process is exactly the same if we do it en masse, based on the fact that we have here templates, and those templates can be applied to clients on bulk, most commonly by having things like, again, our tenants or our groups that are associated here that allow us to apply template changes on bulk. So that's that first demo. Demo number 2 is where we're now interacting with the client. And again, I touched on this before, we can access the settings both locally, where permitted, of course, as well as centrally, as we saw in the last demo through the Tenzig Manager. But before we dive in, let's take a quick look, especially because Christina called this out before. So this is our zero client UI, which is customizable to your own corporate imaging and styling. So what you see here is the out-of-box experience. And this gives a secure login portal mode effectively to Horizon. And it's very useful in terms of providing a secure interface where the user can't make any changes, they can't open browsers, they literally can just simply log in to Horizon, either on-premise or Horizon Cloud or Workspace ONE. What you can do very simply is you can enable access to user controllable applets that you see here. So you may permit users, as in the demo here, to change their audio properties, change perhaps their keyboard language, or their mouse settings, but everything else is effectively blocked and hidden. And to gain access to that, again, we go in either through the Tenzig Manager, or if we do it locally here, through the cog and the control panel, where we're required to input the password. That takes us into the client settings, and we go into those same Horizon settings that we saw in the previous demo from the Tenzig Manager. And as we go into advanced, you can see that the preferred protocol is now set to blast because of the fact that we forced it down through the manager. And again, everything else looks the same. It all matches from client to the manager. Now, what we'll do to conclude the demo is we'll sign in to Horizon and we'll launch Windows 11 desktop. And it's as quick as the password enters in. So it launches the Horizon client. And then because of the fact that we configured the client settings in this scenario to automatically connect to our Windows 11 desktop pool, it establishes the connection very, very quickly and seamlessly. So the key summary here, actually before we finish, just show you the Horizon Performance Tracker. So as you can see, that confirms the fact that we are connected with Blast Extreme and all the other good tools that come from the Horizon Performance Tracker, which you can install with the Horizon agent. So we'll sign out of that desktop, and that will then take us back immediately to the sign-in portal for the next user. So we're not leaving anything open on the endpoint, on the Zero client for any other users to impact or connect out of breach. So the key summary here, or the key takeaway, is this provides users with a clean, secure, and consistent user experience for signing into Horizon or Workspace ONE. Obviously, of course, it allows support for Blast Extreme, as well as PC over IP if you choose, and it's all configurable very easily and quickly through either the Tenzig Manager, where we can make changes individually, or on bulk, and the management is simple and pain-free. So that concludes the demo, and also takes us to really the end of the Blast Extreme section, at least for now. And we're just going to spend a short time now focusing on PC over IP Ultra that Christina mentioned at the start of the webinar, which is featured by HP Anywhere, and who are a joint Tenzig and Omnissa partner. And we'll learn in this section how HP Anywhere and PC over IP Ultra can work together with Omnissa Horizon and offer perhaps some benefits to other use cases and industries, as we'll cover. So Christina, I know you were very integral to this joint initiative. I'd just appreciate it if you could offer some brief insight for our audience around the integration, please.
Yeah, we had customers that were using both PC over IP Ultra and Horizon, which means that they had both servers set up. They had the HP Anywhere client running on their endpoints, but they really preferred the Horizon management for the VM. So being able to spin up pools, apply, to do that automatically. They liked our management. So they asked if we could do integration. So in this integration, you actually do have to have both stacks set up, and then we have communication between the two servers to use the Horizon pool management. And it's really nice for customers that are doing very high-end graphics, 3D, Avid, Maya, that kind of work.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. And we have a slide that covers exactly what you've just described, hopefully for the audience as a takeaway. So Christina's introduced that collaboration, but what does it mean for Omnissa customers? Firstly, so PC over IP Ultra is an advanced remote display technology. Is designed for high-value, performance-driven use cases, and it enables organizations to confidently deliver premium workstations and desktops like the examples that Christina touched on, It delivers true lossless visuals, preserving exact color accuracy and fine detail. And this protects the integrity of creative engineering and manufacturing workflows, as we'll see. It supports ultra smooth 4K frame rate and multi-display experiences without driving excessive network costs. And it also provides professional grade pen and tablet responsiveness. So in many of the industries where it is used, it's used together with Wacom tablets. So Wacom tablet redirection is very well supported by this technology. And that unlocks remote and hybrid use cases for, again, those verticals, such as for designers, artists, and engineers. And is optimized to reduce the CPU load. So as some of the stats that Christina shared earlier, there's certainly vast improvements for PCoIP Ultra based on the original branch, the earlier version that Christina touched on, that features much earlier in Horizon, and enables a single high performance experience across not just physical workstations, but cloud environments and Linux or virtual hosts. For anywhere customers, as Christina touched on, it really is a solution that combines the enterprise grade Horizon control plane. So all of the good stuff that comes with the management of Horizon, such as golden images, automated provisioning, power lifecycle management, and that flexible pool design. And IT makers can manage knowledge workers and power users for each of those types of use cases from a single pane of glass, which is great news. So it positions Horizon not just as a VDI platform, but as unified foundation for the entire workforce for each and every one of those solutions. Where it is also critical, if you do have customers that are critically tied towards PC over IP, and where that native support is reaching end of life, customers can move with this future-proof strategy in order to leverage PCoIP Ultra, as we'll cover. And the last part to this slide is being able to take advantage of HP's next generation trusted zero clients with zero trust features that we have another slide on very shortly. So where it really comes into play is for HP Anywhere with PCoIP Ultra is in terms of some of these typical industries, which I'll just give some examples of. So for media and entertainment, it enables editors, animators, and VFX artists to work with high resolution video and complex scenes remotely. And it preserves color accuracy and fine detail for grading, compositing, and post-production. And adaptive encoding supports smooth playback and scrubbing, even when teams are distributed globally. For architecture, we're delivering crisp 4K visualization of large BIM models, plans and photorealistic renders, maintains line precision, textures, and color accuracy, which is critical for design review and client presentations. Then as we move towards engineering, we get the support of high frame rate interaction with complex CAD, simulation, and product design tools, where it preserves detail in the schematics, mechanical drawings, and 3D models. And again, we touched on adaptive encoding before, but it comes into play with engineering, where it ensures that engineers can remain productive where they're on variable, corporate, or remote networks. And similarly with construction, in construction industries, the adaptive encoders really help maintain usability where employees are on site offices or even locations with just temporary connections based on the effectiveness of the adaptive encoders. So enabling the field teams and design offices to access the same high fidelity project data as the teams in the central office. So there's some of the key benefits to where PCoIP Ultra can come into play together with Omnissa Horizon. And we touched before on the Trusted Zero clients. Tenzing, as mentioned, are a partner of HP Anywhere, and we do equally offer our own set of Trusted Zero clients, again, powered by HP Anywhere. So as it states, they are built on traditional zero client technology and add together zero trust security principles using the HP Anywhere Trust Center, as we'll see in the next slide. They are supportive of PCoIP Ultra and HP Anywhere support together with Horizon 8, and that's in order to leverage PCoIP Ultra based workflows, as well as more recently also supporting Horizon 8 through Blast Extreme. So the Trusted Zero clients can be connected together with Omnissa Horizon using either Blast Extreme or PCoIP Ultra together with the HP Anywhere Trust Center. So if we just touch on the connectivity diagram now for Trusted Zero clients and how it works together with both Horizon and HP Anywhere. So firstly, if you're adopting this for HP Anywhere and Horizon, the joint integration with PCoIP Ultra, and Christina touched on it, you're connecting and brokering via the Omnissa Horizon broker, which is then paired together with HP Anywhere's connection manager and security gateway. So those components both work together with Horizon 8. And this in turn establishes connectivity from a Trusted Zero client to a HP Anywhere enabled agent, which can run either on a physical or virtual workload through PCoIP Ultra. Now, this model, because of those additional components, does require a HP Anywhere Pro license, which is licensed per concurrent user, in addition to the Anywhere Trust Center subscription. And as you can see with the Anywhere Trust Center subscription, that is a connectivity that the Trusted Zero client uses to establish connection to the Trust Center, and that is then managed in the same way through the Tenzing Manager server, which also has support for Trust Center. And then secondly, if you're using the Trusted Zero clients for Blast Extreme, then you're brokering the Trusted Zero client directly to the Omnissa Horizon broker and control plane without involving HP Anywhere Connection Manager or Security Gateway. The Trusted Zero client still requires Trust Center, but it is connecting directly via Blast Extreme to the Horizon 8 infrastructure. So with all of that, we've given obviously a lot of information from the adoption of Blast Extreme before it to introduce concepts around PCoIP Ultra. And this is where we bring into play, as we mentioned, effectively choosing the right protocol. And this is where we had a bit of back and forth in the build up to the webinar to make this as simple as possible to be able to navigate through this, to choose the right protocol. But there's no better person, Christina, than you to take us through it, hopefully, and that will lead us nicely to poll 3 as well.
Excellent. So this is a lot of arrows and a lot of back and forth, but there are a couple. It's actually not that many questions. So the first question is: are you doing general office workload? We saw that if yes, and we saw in the poll that 21% of the people on this actually have endpoints that can run Blast now. So that's an easy line. You just go from general office, do your clients support Blast? You should be using Blast Extreme. Try it out, you'll love it. The next question is, all right, let's say you have endpoints that can use Blast, but you are using these super high-end graphics. You're using super high-end graphics. You're using Avid. You're using Maya, or maybe you already have a PCoIP Ultra environment. So you take a look at that combo offering. It can make your life easier. You can manage your pools in just one place and still get the mix of Blast and PCoIP. All right. So the next flows are: I have an endpoint that does not support Blast, and I think that's where a lot of the consternation comes from. If you are doing just kind of general office work, then probably this is the right webinar for you. Kevin laid out a bunch of options for you. You can stay on the Horizon ESB for the next 3 years. This is the ESB that will come out in the next quarter. So you do still have time to plan and figure out how you're going to upgrade those endpoints. So you can just hang out there. If you are using Zero clients and you are doing that Avid 3D, super high-end lossless, I need that, then you could maybe stay on those Zero clients if they are modern enough to, and they're running PCoIP Ultra, and look at that combo workflow. All right, let's do a poll.
Let's do it. Okay, let me find poll number 3. Okay, so let's see which direction the audience is going to go. So yeah, the next poll is which protocol are you going to choose, and select one or more of the following. So we've got 10% votes in already, 20%. We've got good participation here, Christina. It's looking good. Looks like Blast Extreme is punching ahead, but we've got a good even split across the rest of the categories as well. We're up to 70%. So if we can get at least 80% votes here, guys, folks, please vote away. We're up to 75%. I'll just give it a few seconds longer before closing the poll. All right, I think that's enough. So thanks again for everybody's participation. We'll put that on screen. So yeah, it looks like 20% are going to stick with legacy PC over IP for now and go down the Horizon ESB path. We've got 78% with Blast Extreme, 13% on PC over IP Ultra, and 21% still deciding. So really good stats there, and interesting that very similar even keel between options 1, 3, and 4, and Blast Extreme stomping away with 78%. So great results, and we'll just go on now to kind of start towards closing off the webinar, which is perfect timing too. So with the decision tree, can help determining again whether you go Blast Extreme or PC over IP Ultra, and that can help then with this slide to try and determine the type of client available to you. And of course, we're available to assist with these if you have follow-up questions, and it might be the case that you test multiple of them because you have either a variety of different use cases, or again, as we saw from the poll, people are not quite sure yet. So let's just recap really. So what we've got. So again, first thing is if you set on the protocol, that quite clearly determines the product family that you fit into. And let's go down each of the product families just to recap. So the Tenzig Modernized Zero clients are designed to support Blast Extreme, and they offer flexibility supporting other platforms as well as customization and easy configuration via the inclusive Tenzig Manager. And they're available in a variety of form factors, you can see on this slide, like laptops, all-in-ones, and different desktop form factor. So lots of choice there. And then in addition, the Tenzig Modernized Thin clients build on that with providing even greater flexibility. So they don't just make up the Zero client that connects just to Horizon. They can be used, for example, if you want to also support web apps, or simultaneous access to perhaps other clients if needed. And they're available in both a choice of Linux or Windows 11 IoT format as well. The Tenzig repurposing software can be used where there's a need to run our platform on third-party hardware, as I said, for supporting Blast Extreme. And last but not least is the Tenzig Trusted Zero clients, which can be used for supporting the Omnissa Horizon broker integration, either with HP Anywhere and PC over IP Ultra, or standalone with Blast Extreme, and supporting the HP Trust Center. And as mentioned, all of these are available for demo to aid with POCs and migrations and any questions that you might have. So with that takes us to the summary, and then we have hopefully what should be a few minutes just to cover off any questions that came in. So I'll let you start first. Thanks, Christina.
Great. So I think we've made it clear that Blast is a high-performance, mature protocol, the best option for our customers. We are going to be removing PC over IP after the Q1 ESB release. Blast, as good as it is now, will get better every quarter. That's our commitment to our customers. It also gives you the advantages of the telemetry and the root cause analysis in intelligence. The latest Zero clients do come with Blast support, so if you love Zero clients, you have options. And older Zero clients, if you're not ready to jump for buying brand new endpoints for every single end user, you have a little bit of time. You have 3 years of support with ESB. Kevin.
Thanks, Christina. And on the Tenzig side, you have Trust in Tenzig that we have 15 years experience of supporting Horizon. We have a robust partnership with Omnissa where our products are aligned around the ecosystem and certification program available with Omnissa Ready. We have a wider range of hardware for all the options that we've discussed. We have a secure OS, which can be used either on net new or third-party existing hardware. Our single vendor strategy enables us to provide all hardware and software options under one roof. And obviously, as I touched on, our sole focus on all things VDI, DAS, and web apps give us that clear and concise strategy for aligning with Omnissa. And coupled with that, our 100% free Tenzing Manager server, which is included with those endpoints we covered. Our certified premium support is market leading, so it is included with all of our clients and repurposing software. And finally, our free demo program, where we can supply you, as mentioned, with a variety of different demo options where you do decide either now or in the future to proceed with those POCs and migration projects. And before we dip into the questions and answers, we have our final poll, which is just to gauge if anybody wishes to provide any separate follow-up. So I'll just finish off with that final poll, and then your job, audience, thank you very much, is done.
Unless you have questions, put questions in the question box.
Yeah, there is a few questions which have come in, Christina, which is good news. So we can go through those as we wrap up. So we have 62% voted. It's still ramping up a little bit. We're up to 65. If we can get it to between 70 to 80, that will be great. All right, we're at 72%. So I'm just going to close that poll. I don't typically share this poll on screen, but it's used as a call to action and follow-up for us after the webinar, which we can share together with Omnissa for any follow-up, as well as all of the other data that we captured throughout. So I'm going to close that poll, and then we will turn to the last slide, which is our questions and answers. So I'll just reel these off. It looks like we've got a good split of questions, Christina, for us both. Let me just work through them. Yes, so let me just re-emphasize as well that if people do have questions, feel free to add them into the chat and we will get through as many as we can. So the first question is, traditional Zero clients were firmware based. It seems this one is Linux. Is that true? It's a very good question. And yes, that is true that it is Linux. And Christina, this is something that you maybe want to add as well with the adoption of Blast Extreme and the fact that it uses generally industry standard hardware and codec based on H.264 amongst others, that the market has kind of changed in the last several years towards being more Linux based, and also to offer the flexibility that's needed today in the marketplace with regards to some of the other plugins that are required, such as things like the Teams optimization, for instance. But again, hopefully I've answered the question there that it is Linux. But Christina, if there's anything else you wish to add there, feel free.
Just that, you know, the traditional Zero clients had very limited peripheral support and any sort of offload capability, like you said, for calls, yeah, for browser content redirection. And if you're using, you know, a full Linux and client, even if it is locked down and has limited functionality, like you have the full Horizon client, and maybe you want to support other kinds of peripherals. Yeah,
that's great. That's exactly it. Thank you very much. The next one is, and I think you may have covered it, Christina, but with Horizon ESB release, will there be security updates for that release path, or will we not be able to upgrade Horizon environments until we move away from Terra 2 clients?
So yes, we do support, we do put out security updates. We aim at, we have kind of a cadence where we try to do one around 6 months, and then 9 months, and then 9 months in that 3-year period. And that's based on security problems or bug fixes. If we don't see a ton of them, maybe we hold off a little bit. If we see something really critical coming up, we'll put it out sooner. So you will get at least 3 security updates over the course of your ESP.
Great, thank you. Good answer. I think I can answer this one, but again, feel free to interject, Christine. It says, when you were adjusting the speeds and latency, is that replicating the machine hardware or the office networking configuration? It looks like there was effectively a network emulator that sits in the middle to introduce the packet loss and latency and jitter. Am I right with that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We were artificially creating it.
Perfect. Then there's another question about dual or triple display supported. We do support both. So we actually have a couple of devices actually that support dual screen. Most commonly the 7000Q series as well as the 4600Q. The triple display, we offer the 7300Q, which is our triple display. We are getting ready to purchase a pile of Tenzig 7048 QO devices. Am I correct? These are Tenzig Modernized Zero clients. Yep, that's absolutely correct. I think you covered this too, Christina. When will the final Horizon ESB build that supports Teradici PC over IP be released? I want to hold off updating our legacy Horizon environment until that point.
2603 is the planned ESB.
Awesome,
so
thank you.
To come out around March.
Perfect, thank you. It's great to see the Tenzig Manager appliance live in action. Could you let us know when it will be released as RTM? That's a great question. We do hope to release it in the first half of this year. It has been a long time waiting, and to explain to the audience that aren't aware, we effectively have two Tenzig Manager servers in parallel right now. We have our historic Windows-based Tenzig Manager server, which is known as Tenzig Manager Server V5, and then we have a Linux virtual appliance, which is an offshoot, a separate branch of that that's purely Linux-based on V6. And we have been in a process of field testing that with a number of customers. So we do hope to launch that in the first half of this year. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the progress we've made there. So keep watch on that. And I think we are out of time. So unfortunately, we did run out of time on those questions, but as we normally do in situations like this, we will follow up. So all of the questions are captured in the analytics, and we will follow up whether the questions designated for Tenzig or Omnissa or both. We will sync together to get you answers for those that didn't appear. But yeah, thank you very much for everybody's time and attendance. I hope you enjoyed the content. Thank you very much to you, Christina, for all of your help here. It was really fun working with you, and I'll leave you if there's anything final you want to say, Christina.
Oh, no, thank you. And thanks for your support. I know customers have been nervous about the end of PC over IP, and I think that the information about your endpoints and the information I gave about Blast is going to make them feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope the content was really useful. And again, if anyone has any questions, they know how to reach out to us on both sides, and we will follow up with any questions we didn't get to. So thank you again, everybody. Have a pleasant day, afternoon or evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you.